Wow, I completely...
It's done! Sorry it took so long.
I completely forgot, like, that's entirely on me. Like, he must have said that he needed a hammer or a tool or something, but somehow at some point in my mind it, like, turned into he wants a blueprint or something. Like, bleh. But, okay.
Here you go. Try it out. See what you think.
It all went good in the end, anyway. Raval shield. Now, of course, me being Mr. Fashion Souls, the biggest deal here is that we're going to get an update to Adol's design when we equip this.
What's the verdict? I'm not one to toot my own horn, but I think I did a damn good job with this piece. Might have even outdone myself.
Ooh.
I'd probably even go so far as to say it's the best piece of work I've ever produced. Just make sure you put it to good use, okay?
You got it. In fact, I will. Ja-jan! Hold on, it goes from 253 to 257. Okay, well that's not that crazy, but I'll take it. And ja-jan! Yeah! Look at that blinging purple armor. I like that it kind of is fairly close to his regular armor design-wise. It's just way more ostentatious. That royal purple. I love it!
What do you got for me?
Now that we've... Ooh! We had 3,000... Did we have 3,000 Raval ore? Did I have that much Raval ore when we came here? Because now I still have 2172. That means we can get 3 upgrades. So we can
Good to go.
get that to level 2.
Good to go.
That to level 2, and we can still upgrade... Oh yeah, of course, there's also the monetary side, but apparently that's no biggie. Although we will need to get some money for these last 2.
This the one? Good to go.
Oh my god! So we still need 1,400 though. That's gonna take... Oh god, hopefully there'll be like at least one more chest to give us a nice 1,001 smackaroonies, because otherwise that's gonna take so much grinding. Too much, in fact, for me, I think. I'm gonna say it right now. I don't think I want to do that much grinding, because I've seen how much those skelly lads drop. They drop like 10 a pop. So I'd have to kill 140 of them.
Come again.
Let's not. No. That's crazy. I mean, I did, like, spend at least 3 hours grinding the final gear in E7. I imagine it might be, like, 3 hours to kill 140 of them. Oh my god, now I'm starting to convince myself to do this. No, let's just... First, let's just go back there and let's continue on exploring the dungeon. If it looks like we come to an obvious final boss door, well, I'll have a decision to make, won't I? But now, guys, I guess the cool guy thing would be to cut this out, but this is kind of an adventure in itself, so I think I will save this here. Hold on to your butts, because here we go. We have to run all the way back to where those, that pack of lemonades was. Then we're gonna make some lemonade. I do now appreciate, I really like this, like, giant central room now. I mean, I kind of already saw it when we first came here, that there's all these paths to go around. It is now cool, now that we've spent so much time crisscrossing it, to see all those paths, like, oh yeah, I was over there. Now I'm over here. Very cool. Every time this part... There we go. Timing is key. Now I gotta watch my health as well as we carry on, because I do take some scratch damage as I bump into enemies on my trek. If it looks like I'm getting severely attritioned, that's the word I was looking for, getting attritioned here, we are gonna take a break to heal up. Now, instead of going over there, down we go. This was the nice little shortcut that we now know this to be. Don't mind me, skeleton army. Just passing through. Now comes the big test. How easy is it to slip through these parts? with all these evil plants, Mach valises, whatever they were called. Ow, ow, ooh, ah, ee. Not too bad. It's actually the horde of skeletons around them that kind of wears on me. The other thing is, I do need to watch for places where I need to do some precision platforming. We are going to have to stop there and fight enemies, kind of like this spot right here. Oh, made it. Deal with this skelly boy, for example. Just to make my life a little easier, since this is a platforming section. No need to do too much difficult platforming while dealing with enemies, you know? What am I looking for? This is what I'm looking for. Also, this is a good moment to top off that 70 health I'm missing. You don't know when that's gonna come bite me, so... Kinda wish there was like a quick item switch button to just go through the items, but... probably asking a little bit too much. It's not that big of a deal to go into the inventory. Let's see if we can... Yeah, okay, cool. We did not have to fight this Lemonade, although if I drop down there... Okay. Might be worth it to kill this Lemonade. Unless I'm confident in my platforming. And why wouldn't I be? Oh, God. Ah! So I guess while we're running through here, I guess I could revisit my thoughts vis-a-vis this compared to all the other Ys's I've played. This is now the third Ys game I've played. Actually, that's a bit of a lie. I did play a little bit of Ys 2 after I beat Ys 1. I'm gonna have to admit, I was a little Ys fatigued once I beat 1, so I didn't really get into 2, just on account of that. Just that feeling of, ooh, I gotta do all of this again. Okay. This is... Again, a lot of people will consider this to be their favorite Ys in the fandom. Either this or Origin. It seems to be the top ones. Or alternatively 8 nowadays, but that seems to be kind of a minority who think that's the best one. It seems to mainly be people who think it's a really good one after the series has been floundering a little bit. I, of course, I adore 7, so I don't have that feeling of the series floundering, but, you know, I haven't played very many of these games, so I don't have the big picture, of course. And in fact, this game is showing to me that, like, you know, that big picture could really help me assessing, because, like, yeah, I am kind of teetering which one I like more. This has been such a well-done package, this game, compared to E7, which I adored, sure, but, like, it did feel a little monotonous at times. The battles were a little slower paced, for sure, compared to this. I think the faster pace serves Ys a little better. Somehow it just felt less, oh, this is really bad, both of these fellas. Now it's doing this jump thing. Where's the easy slashes that were, quote-unquote, easy to dodge? Well, it stopped. Yeah, but no, this is incredibly arcadey, this game, I'd say. Well, I guess it's not arcadey, I don't know, it's like, it's simple, but incredibly well, like, realized. It's such a good package, this whole game, so I totally get the adoration for this series by fans. The only, like, problems I would say is some areas do run a little long. Like, Elder Mountains I'm never gonna be a fan of, and the enemy density in that is bad. So some areas are designed a little poorly. This area kind of falls a little bit into that as well, although definitely not as bad as... Hey, hold on, are we taking... Hold on. I've gotta check this out. Hold on, check this. No, come this way. Damn, we're, like, taking really tiny damage. They don't even do damage all the time. Sometimes I just take 0 damage. That's how good our armor is. I dig it. Oh, you want a piece too? Magus. So like, but that's a very minor problem for me, that some areas are a little too long and a little too monotonous. Like, I think you could totally levy that concern with E7 more so, some areas. You know, there's... the platforming makes this pretty interesting, even though it's not super well realized, but the platforming does add an extra element which helps with the kind of simple combat. Whereas E7, I think, just kind of focuses way more on the combat, since there's, like, you know, weapon types and multiple party members and all that. And the kind of area variety kind of suffers from that. So, I would say maybe if, like, the variety, the adventure kind of appeals to you more, I think Oath in Felghana is definitely the better game. E7, it's more of an adventure on paper, if you will. Because I adored the characters in that and the story, I still think it's totally fine, that game. That's why I'm not sure which one I would commit to describing as my favorite. This 7 or Felghana. We'll have to keep playing a little longer, but if I'll just say this. If like a year from now, for some reason I had to play one of these two games again, I think I would go, ooh, I kind of want to play Felghana, okay? Like, that's my feeling at the moment. Because I'm not a humongous fan of... Come on. Wanna fight me? There we go. Trying to kite some enemies here. Ooh, no. There we go. That's what I wanted, was to get one of these fellas away from his friends. Ow. I'm just gonna have to play it like this, I think. Wow, we're almost another level too. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not super into playing games a second time. I mean, definitely not like in a short order replaying games. Two of these fellas. I really don't want to fight two of these fellas. Can I not aggro one of you? No, because they decide to chuck their fireballs. And I want them to... Oh, that's the worst possible, that they both charge in. Okay, you know what? There's 3 of them! Yow, 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 yow! Oh, that was so risky. By the way, we made it back to where I was. It didn't take super long after all. Thank goodness. If I get one level, we will get a full heal, of course, from there. But no way I'm risking that. We're just gonna play this super carefully. But the simple flow of this game means that I would be like really down to playing this game again a year from now. I don't know if like someone was like, hey, can we record this together? Like, or like some friend just wanted, like, can you show me what this game's like? Like, I would definitely be more for this than 7, I feel. There we go. Got the level as well. We are level 49. God damn, that's a big level. Oh my god, there's 4 of these guys here. 5, 6 altogether when you count the 2 who are hanging out over here. And they are so hard to pull because... There we go. You know, I want to keep the distance, but then... Ah! Did they just use some weird wave throw Reppuken right there? It's got another attack even? Or was I just imagining things? I don't know. I'm still gonna do this even though I'm not super damaged, because, you know, gotta get a bit of a rest, yowzers! Yeah, no, I'm so grateful now that I went back to town to upgrade my shiznit. 6 of these guys? Ugh. Hell no. We're doing okay with Raval, though. Look at that. We've ground so much. Like 400. I'm feeling a little lightheaded fighting these fellas. Perfect parry, perfect parry. Aw, your fireballs missed me? Poor guy. Because of the slope? Silly fella. I see, these fellas drop a lot more Raval ore. So it's a very, like, high risk, high reward if you wanted to grind for Raval ore, fight these chunk lads. Wow! When we saw this staircase earlier, it looked like we were going to be climbing it up, but my expectations were subverted. We're going down. Which I guess makes sense. But we are descending into these ruins. Oh. Well. This is certainly something. I love this Shadows over Mystara action here. This spinning spiral staircase thing. I guess this is that point that I was talking about. Do I sit down to grind for a couple of hours to get all the ore I need? Because you can tell, right? You can totally tell. You can super tell what's awaiting us behind this door. It's the final battle against Bishop Nicholas. And probably Galbalan. The thing is, we have 10 minutes of episode time left. So, like, if I ended it right now, we'd be ending super early. We got even more than 10 minutes. We got 13 minutes of time. Why do I do this to myself? Fine, we're doing it. I'm gonna do it, you guys. Because I made 450 in just that, like, casual run right there. So, do the math, I need 1400. That's 3 more runs like that. I think I can do that pretty easily, even off screen. So, looks like I'm doing this. Now, I don't want to end the episode early, so I'll just do this, I'll just do the remainder of this episode, do my grind. And what's my grind gonna be? I think I'm gonna do the Skull Alnadas rather than the Levinades. That seems slower to fight them, since I have to be so careful with those chunk lords. Whereas with the Skelly boys, I think I can go ham way more. So I'm gonna go back to where we dropped down, and then I'm gonna make a run to the right, to that area where we got the chime, because that whole area is like Skeleton Town. It's like ancient catacombs right there. So that's gonna be my game plan for grinding out this Raval ore I need. Also, the money I will need to upgrade it. Hold on, it's like 1500. Okay, well, we actually have the money. It's 1500 per... No, 15,000, sorry. 1500. 15,000 per upgrade, and we need 2. So we're set on that front. No worries there. Oh, I always screw this up. There we go. Yeah, even an old mince can learn a few tricks. Although it would help if I had the correct spell equipped. I guess I could be fighting these folks as well for the grind, but like I don't remember if these dropped Raval ore. The Skelly lords seem to consistently do it. Now I wonder what the lore there could be. Let's try to think of a lore reason. What were these Skelly boys originally again? Mortal skeleton warrior like the ones that ravaged Genos Island 12 years ago. Mortal sorcerer. So are these like ancient... These ancient beings are like infused in some sense. It's some kind of like fossilization effect, I want to imagine. So they are just infused with Raval ore, their old bones. And that's why they drop them so plentifully, is my theory. We don't exactly know what Raval ore is. I don't think they like gave us. It just is an ore. There's no like... Nothing deeper to it, I don't think. But if you want to imagine, like, it's some kind of ancient item which is more plentiful in the past, and these creatures climbing up from the ground have suffused themselves with it. Nice little lore explanation, I like it. How are we doing already? Out of curiosity? We made 40 just fighting these fellas, so... Like, okay. It's fine. Anyway, I guess I should make it clear. Like, if you guys don't want to watch me grind, thanks for watching, catch you next week. But I don't want to end this episode early, and I don't want to walk into that area with those horrible, horrible beasties, so... horrible boss that's coming our way, so I'll just entertain you guys by yapping for 10 more minutes while grinding these skelly trolls. It'll be interesting if I get done with a single cycle of this area. We're gonna check out, like, what was my haul in Raval or at the end. It was 412 was what I started with, so we're gonna check out what I land at once I've done the kind of what I'm imagining to be like my run. Then it's gonna be me going back and forth after I'm done here. There we go. I think that's a pretty good, actually, like an interesting thing for someone to still be interested in as we, like, just do grind here. See what kind of haul a single run through this area is. And by area, I mean that previous area we just dropped into, and this bridge with all these Skellymancers, and then that area to the right with the plethora of them hanging out by the Silver Chime. So this area, once I'm done clearing. I'm gonna say I'm gonna clear the bottom area. There may have been Skelly folks up there. No, wait, this isn't the Chime area. Where was the Chime area? Oh, nerds, I'm going the wrong way. Okay, well, experiment ruined. I can't even, like, this is too bad. My experiment is tainted because all these guys dropped Raval, or it's gonna throw off my calculations, my calculations. That's right, the Chime area was the top right of this place you drop down to. No. Okay, well, no, let's do like this. Like, let's do an approximation. Sometimes you have to make approximations, right? So let's say I got about 50 from that first area. Well, that's going to be our approximation. Is I got about 50 ore from that first area, this room we're in now. So that would have been up to 462. Now we have 670. 617? Wow. So that would have been 46 to 67, 622 would have been 160. 160, okay. Right, so 50 and then 617. Okay, we're just gonna see. I'm gonna add 50 plus whatever the amount I get running to the right here is. Because I had 40 when I was almost done with that area, and then I fought a couple more enemies, so I think it'll add up to a nice 50 as an approximation. This was Skeleton Central, right? Yeah. Yeah. Do these big boys drop any Raval? Doesn't seem like it. I feel like this was it. Maybe I'm imagining things. No, here we are. The bridge to the right is Skull Central. Yeah, this is the place I was thinking of. No, give me that. That's the one I was looking for. Yeah. Wonder if we're gonna get a level is the other interesting thing. Maybe if I get this grind done real quickly, I could then try to still get a level up to level 50. It would be great to go to the boss with an even number like that, you know? Just that little morale boost to have that even 50 as our level as we walk into the final battle. Maybe? I don't know. Okay, there weren't that many skelly lads here than I remembered. Honestly, that central pit is probably still the best area. So, let's check it out. We are up to 737, so 617 up to 737 is 120. So that adds up to 170. Oh, let's round up to about 200 per cycle. 200 every time I go back and forth through these two areas. Not bad. That's not a terrible grind. I'll put on one of my podcasts and I'll get that done in like, not 3 hours. It's not going to take that long. Like a couple of hours. Not even. Maybe like an hour. This is not a nightmare. Ooh, this is a nightmare. This enemy doing this attack that it does so rarely. Glad we got to see that as well. Yeah, we still have 5 more minutes of episode time, so I'm still gonna just stick around for like 5 more minutes here. For your guys' amusement. I don't really have anything else interesting to say. I guess, when's this episode coming out? This episode is still coming out in 2020, right? Yeah, I think so. We're very close to New Year's when this comes out. I think this is straight holiday season when this episode comes out, but we are still before New Year's. I guess I can tease what the New Year's episode is gonna be. You know, I always play something silly on New Year's that's a little different from what I usually do. It's a game. It's the first part in a series that I really like. Yeah, I decided because I want to play... This series is a series that I really liked, and it was very hard to play on the PC previously. It only had a couple of installments on the PC before. Now, all of a sudden, we got a couple of ports more for the PC, just out of like kind of nowhere. A very big surprise. In fact, we've talked about this on our podcast that me and my friend Jonathan do, the Minsk and Friends Speakeasy. So you might already guess what I'm talking about also, from the fact that it's a series that I super love. But the first installment is something that I really don't want to play a full Let's Play of. I want to play the other installments, and I'm kind of like maybe promising that we are going to play the kind of... The first one that people think of in that series, let's put it that way. I'm going to play that next year. But to set it up, the very first installment, I'm just going to do like a nice New Year special for that, because that's about as much time as I want to put into that game. It's a bit too retro, and also like one of those like you really need to do. It's very hard to figure out what to do if you don't know. Like it's so much trial and error to figure out what you're supposed to do if you don't know beforehand. One of those like confusing kind of old games. I don't want to play it a full Let's Play. And it's just so retro. I guess there's nothing saying I can't play like a really old game on my channel. Like I've never said I couldn't do that. You know, one game I've kind of thought about I'd love to play is Mega Man 2. Is maybe my favorite like 8-bit game. I don't know. That one's available on PC. There's a pretty nice Mega Man collection on PC. It plays pretty good. But anyway, this game I'm not as fond of as Mega Man 2. I mean, I appreciate it. I respect it being the first of its series, starting a genre, really, in some sense. But it's kind of not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. No. Alright, how are we doing? 957. God damn, this is gonna happen pretty... Because I need 1400, so this is not that big of a deal. I think... Money is also doing great. I might do the same loop to grind that level off screen, like I promised. Like, that would be great if we could have that done. But anyway, yeah, I think... If you guys know what games I like, if you guys know what game had a surprise release on PC... I'll give one more hint. It was not on Steam, it was on Good Old Game, where this series suddenly got a bunch of PC ports on. You can probably know what's gonna be on New Year's. That's enough clues. The crime solvers out there will be able to suss out what game I'm planning on doing on New Year's. And I guess now that I've talked about it, I guess I'm committing to it. Yeah, I didn't really have any super good ideas apart from this one on what to play for the New Year's super special, so I guess I'll do this. It should be fun. The New Year's episode is supposed to just be me kind of having a goof around. You know, a game that we don't have to worry about, like I'm gonna have to do a involved Let's Play. I mean, obviously I love doing these, certainly, but you know, just an end of the year like break to do something silly. Obviously, when I select my games, I do like prioritize, you know, my own enjoyment. Am I going to like this game? Am I going to get enjoyment from playing this game? So it's not like I'm like, oh, poor me, I have to play all these games. Certainly not. I have a lot of free reign. I guess that's one of the perks of being an unknown, of not doing this for a living, is I do have a fair bit of say. Of course, that will also have its downsides of me using my my right of choice without taking the audience into consideration. See, for example, some of those super long JRPGs that nobody watched. Oh, now I'm sounding bitter. I should not do that. That's really bad. I'm super sorry. That's the last thing I want to do, is, like, try to guilt my viewers if they didn't watch something. That is, to some extent, a failure on my part, if it did not draw eyes to it, the series I played. It's certainly not you guys. Do not worry about that, guys. Don't worry. Remember, like, you know, I'm like I said, since I'm prioritizing a lot of my fun, like, I don't worry if no one watches a series, honestly. It's super nice to get feedback, and it's super nice to see numbers. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not that vain. I'm that, like, above it all, but, like, I don't care. I don't worry about if a series doesn't land with fans. It'll be a lesson learned, you know. Again, you know, I don't have any money riding on this. My livelihood is not dependent on this, so I don't have to lose sleep over that. Honestly, if someone wrote in and was like, actually took the time to write in and explain how much they disliked mine, that would actually probably get to me in some sense. I know I could be like, well, unfortunately my show wasn't for them. And, like, that's cool beans, too bad. But, like, honestly, if someone took the time to write in their displeasure with my show, and, like, really seemed to be unhappy, I would actually be like, oh man, I must have really screwed up to set someone off that bad. That would actually shake me up a little bit. I haven't ever gotten anyone being super negative. I've gotten some critique on me missing obvious stuff, but that's pretty lighthearted. And I get some thumbs down in videos as well, but, you know, that's no cause for alarm, honestly. I don't worry about that. 1152. I should have ended the episode by now, honestly, you guys. Man, you guys who stuck through all this, you are troopers, thank you. Speaking of being grateful for viewers, if you guys watched all this grind, thank you, I love it. Apparently you really like channel politics since I fell back on that old chestnut. At least I was kind enough to leave it at the end of the episode once the real meat of the show was over, so the folks who don't care about that didn't have to suffer through it. I'm gonna do this room one more time, and I'm gonna call it there. Then I'm gonna call it for realsies. And if I'm missing, like, a few more hundred, maybe I'll take care of that off-screen real quick, like, or I'll come back to this on my own on some other day. We'll see what I feel like. But, you know, let's see. This is our final challenge. Will this cycle of this room and these enemies provide us the missing Raval, or... I don't know. They only drop 10 or 5 at a time, which is not crazy big numbers. And there aren't a lot of enemies anymore. But hey, I got my level ground grinded. So cool, I won't have to do that off screen. I didn't realize I was doing that good with grinding levels. Man, that's productive. Alright, final tally. What does it look like? 1192. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do one more cycle of this if I want it. I think 1, maybe 2 to get the Raval, or I need to upgrade. But actually, despite my earlier discomfort, nope, this is not... This is a grind. It is a grind, let's not pretend it's not. But it's not the worst grind in the world. Like, this is a reasonable one. I would have preferred, of course, that there wasn't one, and maybe there isn't. Maybe I missed a chest somewhere that had Raval ore in it. Like, maybe this game is balanced, that if you find every secret, you will be provided with enough Raval ore so that the grind will be unnecessary. Certainly, that might be possible. So I guess this is the tax I have to pay for not being the most careful explorer possible, is going to have to do a little bit of grind. But this, again, this is not terrible. This is quite reasonable. So I'm gonna take this, go back to the ruins, save my game, and prepare to dive back in there to finish it. Next time you are going to find me with maximum gear. That's a promise. I'm gonna have it. Don't you worry. By maximum gear, I mean these two. Nah, I'm not gonna bother with this. Come on. Nah. But these ones. Yup. All good. And then we're gonna be as ready as we can be. Except I guess I could still grind for levels. But let's see what level 50 does for us. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. It's gonna be the finale. Oh boy. I hope it isn't over in like 5 minutes. That would be really sad. I'm gonna guess these bosses are gonna be tough enough that it's gonna take a little more than 5 minutes. So, catch you all then, guys. Look forward to it. Bye!